celestial homebody. I hope you are all having a wonderful Monday, and if you're not, maybe a little crochet will cheer you up. And oh boy, if you need some cheering up today, I got you, girl, because you read that title right. I have plushified over 50 items this week, 53 to be exact. I have been a busy little bee with market prep because as of today, I have 52 days until my first and biggest show ever. Well, of this year, it's my first show, but my biggest show ever. And that is at Comic-Con, which I did finally get the invoice confirmation for. So my spot is secured and I am so excited for Comic-Con. Not only because I am a nerd. If you've been around here for a little bit, then you probably know, and you can see it by the plushies in the back, that I am a nerd. I love video games and fantasy and things like that. Not so much sci-fi, but Nintendo, Disney, all that stuff, I absolutely love. So I'm excited for Comic-Con just in general, but to be a vendor at it, I have been having so much fun market prepping for this convention because it's a convention where people go to pretty much just spend money. I mean, I would know because I'm a convention people and you go to like take a picture and get an autograph with your favorite voice actors or whatever from whatever anime you like. I think this year a couple of the Disney princess voice actresses are going to be there. William Shatner is going to be there, like from Star Trek. He's in Star Trek, right? I don't know. I told you I'm not into the sci-fi. But you go to meet your idols and then you go to spend money at Artist Alley on things that you love and that make you happy. And so I have been really enjoying market prepping because I have been making things that I like the fandoms that I'm a part of and that I enjoy, and I know that somebody else at that convention is going to appreciate it because they're also nerds. It's not like a random one-off, like high school gymnasium market where you want to have a lot of generic little items because you don't know like what the people are going to like there. But with Comic-Con, these people are going to this place to spend money on things that they love. And trust me, I would know cosplay is not cheap. So I have a feeling most of the people who will be there have at least a little bit of disposable income. So that's what I'm hoping on. You can see Mushy Guy back there. He's got a candle in front of him looking like he's going to perform a seance. So let's get into what I've made this week. There's a lot. Not all of them are unique items. I do have multiples. But let's just walk through my week. So I placed a gigantic Hirschner's, Premier, Joann's, and Michael's order because I am running really low on a lot. Like you can see, like I have no purples. And with Comic-Con, which is like a 35,000 person expected outcome market. And then I have the Renaissance Fair 2 months after that, which is also going to be like a 30,000 person outcome, hopefully. That is what the coordinators told me would be like the expected patronage at these events. With both of those giant events this spring, I need a lot of yarn because I cannot be playing games with my inventory. So I placed a huge order from multiple places. There's just some of it. Some of it's also outside because I just got back from Joann's today, actually. P.S. If you are not already subscribed, feel free to subscribe if you like crochet content. And if you're not sick of me yet, but also if you are subscribed, make sure that the bell icon is selected, like clicked, because that will give you notifications when I upload. So on Wednesday, I have a super fun video going up of shopping with me at IKEA, Michael's, and Joann's, and we get a lot of yarn. We ball out, okay? And then on Friday, I'm going to have like an hour long, if not multiple hour long, I don't know, I haven't filmed it yet, video on everything, all of the yarn that I got that you just saw down there, as well as the rest of it that is not up in my office yet. So Anyways, I digress. So I started the week knowing that I would have to have all of this yarn to put away. And so I was looking through my stash and I'm like, I need to get rid of some of this. Some of this, like in the colors that I don't use a lot or that I had just a little bit left of that I was getting replacements of. So that kind of tailored what I made this week. So the first thing that I made was I pulled out a half skein that I had of regular chenille home from Michael's, not home slim. It was like the thick stuff. And I had like a half a skein of that because at my last market, I got a commission to do a giant possum. So I had some gray left over from that. And it wasn't enough to do anything huge. So I decided, again for Comic-Con, I wanted to do something that I feel like is tailored to the patronage at that event. So I did a Totoro. And I hated every second of making this. I hated it so much, I didn't even give him a tail because I said, screw it, we're done with him. And the reason I hated making him so much is because I was using chenille home. This stuff sheds like crazy, and because it's so thick, I have to use a bigger hook. I think I used an 8 or 9 millimeter on this, and the only hooks that I have that are bigger are plastic, and I despise plastic hooks. I have Prim hooks, which are great in terms of plastic, but I am a diehard tulip fan. I love my Tulip Edamo Rose crochet hooks. It comes in like a super cute little pink booklet that has all of them, and there are different shades of pink, and they're so pretty, and they glide like butter. And so whenever I have to pull out a plastic hook, I'm like, I gag a little. So hated making this. I used sinker eyes on him with glitter discs. These came with glitter discs, but I very well could have painted the back of the eye white. But to be honest with you, I was too lazy to do that. I couldn't be bothered. So I just took silver glitter discs and flipped them backwards and put them in like that. If I had had a darker gray, I would have used a darker gray for his nose and his little tufts on his chest, but black it was, which is fine because I had quite a bit of Sweet Snuggles Light or Chenille Home Slim, whichever one it is. They're interchangeable in black that I needed to get rid of too. So I made a Totoro, and in the pattern it said to make essentially like little tubes for his ears. Girl, you think I was about to single crochet 4 in the round for like 6 rounds with chenille home? No way, no how. So I just slip stitched and surface crochet. I just chained a couple up and then slip stitched back down. And they're fine. They're fine. I mean, this is like a maybe $25, $30 item. I'm not spending any more time on him. He's cute, but we're done. We're done with that. And I'm so happy it used up every little bit of the gray that I had, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. So on the topic of Totoros, this is kind of cheating because if you watched my video of Crochet Roulette where I let a wheel decide what I made that week, that was a fun video. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun with that. The wheel for one of them, spoiler alert, landed on a Totoro on a swing, and I had not made any critters on a swings, and I know that they're normally really good sellers for people, but I don't know. I don't like to be like everybody else. Like there are a couple of things that I do that everybody's making, like Loaf cats and Leggy frogs, but I like to be unique. With how saturated the crochet market is right now, I definitely want to stand out, which is why like I did like the Stardew Valley blue chickens instead of just regular chickens, which now everybody's doing, which is ironic to me. But I'm on YouTube now, so I share what I make, and if people copy, then they copy, and that's fine. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so I greatly appreciate it, and I like the clout. But things like that I like to do and be a little bit more unique. So I have not done the critters on the swings, but knowing that I had Comic-Con coming up, I was like, what can I do on a swing that's not like just your standard bird or turtle or frog, whatever people do on the swings. So I put on that wheel on the crochet roulette video a Totoro on a swing, and I did one and I hated it. Like, I hated making the chain, and maybe I was just like in a weird mood that day. I think I was working with chenille yarn because I made 6 little Totoro bodies, and then I wanted to do the swing in cotton because I wanted it to be sturdier. And if you have ever gone from working with chenille yarn or like a thicker weight yarn down to like a weight 2 or 3 cotton, it feels so weird. The hook is like microscopic. It just feels weird. So I did one Totoro on a swing and I did not like it, but I had a bunch of little Totoro bodies left. So this week I had them sitting there in a bag and I was like, okay, this is the week I'm finally going to make all these swings. And you know what? It wasn't that bad. So I did 5 Totoros on swings. So here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had already done one. So this is just what I completed this week. And I ran out of this gray Parfait Chunky to do their arms, but I do have some of this. It's called Seal Gray from Parfait. I have it in some of the order that's sitting down there. So once I do my haul and open that up, I will go through and add little arms to these guys. It wasn't that bad to do the swings, honestly. And I think that these are going to sell so well. And I decided to do green for the swings because Totoro has like a little green leaf on his head. So when you think this little guy, you tend to think green. To be honest with you, I have never seen My Neighbor Totoro. Don't tell the rest of the nerdy community because I just haven't. I've seen most of the Studio Ghibli movies, but not My Neighbor Totoro. I think it was the very first one that came out. So I need to watch that. But so we've got big Totoro and then 6 of these little guys. So in an effort to clean up my yarn stash, I had some more regular Sweet Snuggles. Remember how I said that I hated working with the regular chenille home? Hated every second of working with the regular Sweet Snuggles too, but I had to do it. I had to use it up. So I had this color and I was like, what can I make out of this? And I just saw Jellyfish when I saw this color. So I made this jumbo Jellyfish and didn't hate working with it with this as much as with the Totoro because there wasn't any sewing on this. It was pretty straightforward. If you've ever tried to sew with regular Sweet Snuggles, that stuff breaks quicker than my patience. But I also had some of this light blue regular Sweet Snuggles. So I used it for the tentacles, but I had enough of it where I was like, I'm going to have still some of this left over if I use it for every single tentacle on this guy. So I decided to make a sea turtle with it, but which I'm going to show you in just a second. But I ran out on the sea turtle, so then I had to cut one of these guys' tentacles out and perform a little surgery and take some of that Sweet Snuggles to put on the turtle so I could finish the turtle. So his teal or his like light mint color tentacles are uneven, but that's okay. And then also for his tentacles, I used this Burnout baby blanket. I forgot the shade name. It's like lemon lime or something like that, but it's Burnout Sparkle. And I just thought the blues with the greens looked nice. And I gave him embroidered eyes too. Number one, I didn't really want to waste my giant safety eyes because I want to save those for like the character plushies for Comic-Con. So I didn't want to waste them on him. But also the last time I sold one of these giant jellyfish, It was to somebody who was putting it in their baby's nursery, and the nursery was like underwater themed, which I thought was so sweet. So I had that in mind, and I thought, I don't know, maybe a little kid might like this. I mean, it's bulbous to hold on to, but the little tentacles are fun to hold. So there is my jellyfish. And then, as I said, I had more of that mint color Sweet Snuggles, so I wanted to do a turtle. And it just so happened that I had some Big Twist plush in the pastel variegated, which is, you guys know, my favorite yarn, my favorite variegated of all time. Had a little bit of that left. So I was able, with this one turtle, to use up 2 skeins of yarn from my stash, which is great. And the colors look so cute together. So there is the Big Twist plush in the pastel variegated. And then here is the regular Sweet Snuggles and whatever their mint color is called. And then I want to say these are 28 millimeter, I don't know, 28 millimeter glitter disc sinker eyes. And she is precious. Her back flippers are a little scrawny because, as I explained, I was running out of yarn, and I was playing yarn chicken with all 4 flippers. So I did one less round in the back flippers to make sure that I would have enough. And I had, even after cutting out some of the tentacle yarn from my jellyfish, I had just enough to finish the turtle. So there is one nice big pastel turtle. So after using all of those skeins up, I was like, I need to do something easy because I'm sick of working with this squeaky yarn and plastic hook. So I pulled out my Juicy Couture Velour yarn, and I decided to make some pickles. I have never done pickles at a market before, and I feel like they're very hit or miss. I feel like some people do really well with them and some people sell none. But I thought that these would be good for the Ren Fair because at a Renaissance fair, pickles and turkey legs are like a thing. So I want to do some crochet turkey legs and I want to do some crochet pickles. So I started on the pickles because I wanted to use a very bougie yarn and treat myself after struggling through those other things. So the first pickle that I did came out very chunky. I did not have a pattern for this. I mean, they're not hard to do. They're just cylinders with baubles. So he came out really chunky. And so I kind of reworked my pattern and did one less increase round. And I think that this is a much better size. They're nice for like little kids to hold. So there's the size comparison. I'm going to sell them for the same price. Actually, a couple months ago when I decided that I wanted to make pickles for the Ren Fair, I went to Sam's Club and I got a giant container, like, you know, like the plastic containers of cheese balls. Well, I don't like cheese balls. Ryan does. So Ryan has been slowly working away for a couple months now on that giant container of cheese balls so that I can clean out the container and use that as like a giant pickle jar. And I think I'm going to order on Amazon some little pickle pouches, like paper ones, so that people can use like tongs and like go into the pickle jar and pick out their pickle and then put it into the pickle pouch. How many times can I say pickle? And I think that that'll be like a really cute little interactive display. So that cheese ball container, it's like a quarter full now, and we've had it for about 3 months. They're probably stale as heck, but he's a trooper, and I said, make them go away for me. Could we just throw them away? Yes, but that's wasteful, and my mom taught me not to waste food. So there is my big pickle and my little pickle. That's what she said. And then I was on a roll and I just wanted to use up this skein of yarn. So I made 3 more little pickles. So I made 5 pickles in all, and this used an entire skein of the Juicy Couture Velour yarn. And that was a treat to work with. I really enjoyed making these. They were nice. So I'm going to pause showing you my weekly makes to show you something else really cool that I got in the mail. So I ordered on Etsy from the same people who made my sign back there. On Etsy, their name is Acryl Artistry, like acrylic, but acryl artistry on Etsy. And I asked them to also make me a payment code sign for my markets. So in the past, I just used like a Dollar Tree frame and then printed out like my QR codes for my Venmo and PayPal, etc. And I just had that set up as like my payment sign. But I really wanted to up my game. So when I ordered that, I decided to order this as well. And it came out so good. Wait till you guys see this. Look at how stunning this payment sign is. Oh, you can see my ring light in there. Look at how stunning that is. It's got my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App on there. And that is just, it's so pretty. Look at how good like the print is for my logo. And I love the gold. I did not even intend for the back of this to be like ombre, pink, and white because that is what my, like the background of my banner is. So I could not be happier with how this came out. It just looks so professional to sit there, you know, instead of just like a printout. So I am very happy with this. And I want to say this was only like $25 or $30. And when I bought both of them together, I got free shipping. So I was pretty much saving money. I'm going to go broke saving money, I'll tell you what. Anyways, so then on Wednesday, I got selected to do a pattern test for Stacy Makes, and I have never pattern tested before, but I got on my knees and I said, please, Stacy, can I please pattern test for you? And she said, fine. I'm kidding. That's not how it happened. I love you, Stacy. I got selected. I don't know if it was just random or what, but her sitting birds, which you might have seen, you might not have seen. I, of course, will link the pattern down below, as like I always do, along with everything else that I'm showing today. So she has a new set of sitting birds. They're all the same shape, but they change like the little accessories on them. So their comb might be different, the shapes of their feet, etc. And then of course the color changes depend on what kind of bird you're doing. So in her third set of the sitting birds, there is a robin, a blue jay, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's an Australian bird. It's like a gala, I don't know. Pink bird from Australia, and then a cockatoo. And I saw the cockatoo, and she names all of her birds, and she named the bird pattern Kiki the cockatoo. And my heart skipped a beat, because growing up, you guys probably know by now if you've been around here for a minute that my parents were professional magicians, and because of that I grew up sailing the world on a cruise ship and lived on like Norwegian Cruise Line until I was like almost 7 years old. So my dad, being a magician, had a lot of birds, a lot of doves, and we had cockatoos. And when I was first born, we had a cockatoo named Heidi, who unfortunately passed away at only like a year or two old because the vet messed up putting a chip in her and it killed her, unfortunately. But for my entire life, pretty much from 2 years old up to however old she is now, we had a cockatoo named Kiki. And it was just so sweet that just randomly Stacy decided to name her cockatoo pattern Kiki. And I will insert a clip here of our cockatoo Kiki and my dad on stage. And at the very end of the magic show, we would do our bows, and then Kiki would fly around the audience, and the audience loved it. And she would fly right back to my dad. And then after the show, she was such a good bird. After the show, people would come up and get to pet her, and she could say, you know, hi, Kiki. Cockatoos aren't really known for talking. That's more of a parrot thing. But she could say, I love you, and she could say, hi, Kiki. So I was like, I have to do this cockatoo pattern test. So I'm talking so much today. Y'all are probably so annoyed with me right now that I'm just yapping and not showing you enough. By the way, if you're ever short on time, you can always hit the gear icon. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's up top or down below. I think it depends on what device you're on. But if you hit the gear icon and you don't have time to watch this whole hour-long thing or however long it is, you can set the video on 2x speed, so that way I'll sound like a little chipmunk, and then it'll go faster. So you'll get done with the video in half the time but not miss any of the information. So there you go. Pro tip for you. Okay, so here's my little cockatoo. Here's Kiki. I used Sweet Snuggles Light, and she came out tiny. I was expecting it to be bigger just based on other people's patterns, or them doing this pattern, but I think a lot of them that I've seen are using Bernat, so it makes sense that the blanket yarn comes out a little bit bigger. But it wasn't really hard to do. I did mess up on the feet, I think. I think I attached them wrong, but they look okay. I don't know if I'm just stupid or have a 4-month-old baby and I'm sleep deprived. Maybe both. But I, for whatever reason, couldn't figure out based on what the pattern said on how to attach the feet, but Stacy clarified for me and nobody else had an issue. So I think it's just me. But here is my little Kiki. Look at her little tail feathers, cute. And of course her iconic cockatoo comb. Our Kiki used to, like, she would dance, she'd go like this, and her feathers would go like this. I say used to. Kiki is still alive, but she went to a bird rescue during my parents' divorce. They got rid of a lot of the animals, and so she lives with somebody who loves cockatoos now. I don't know who they are, but I think my dad is still in contact with them and gets updates on Kiki now and then. But I finally got to do my first pattern test, so that was so much fun. So she is a sweet little thing and means a lot to me because of my real Kiki. So I'm definitely going to be giving her to my dad, and I think that he'll like that. I mean, he doesn't like stuffed animals. He's a almost 60-year-old man. But he'll like the sentiment, you know. So then we're like halfway done. So then I decided that I wanted to do some leggy frogs. As I said earlier, I do like to be unique, but I do the leggy frogs. And a lot of people that I have heard are reporting that they're not selling that well for them anymore, but they still sell fine for me. And I don't know why I get this vibe, but specifically the people who are going to the convention, I feel like will like the leggy frogs more than the average person. Why? Maybe it's because I think that they're weird. And I do not mean that in a bad way, because again, I am one of these people. So, I don't know. I just thought that they would like the leggy frogs. So I also wanted to get rid of some of my variegated big twist plush that I have, because I love working with plush, but the skeins are huge, so they take up a lot of room in my storage. So I did 3 leggy frogs in this variegated green of the big twist plush, and I still have a little bit more. This next week I'm going to just use up that entire skein to get rid of it, but I really like the way that these worked up in the frogs. I mean, how cool is that? That one kind of looks like it has like a white belly, and they kind of like stripe. They almost look like a barber shop stripe. Very, very cool looking. Almost camo, and camo honestly makes me gag. No, I like military camo. I don't like hunting camo because I don't like hunting. I'm sorry if you're a hunter, if you're married to a hunter, but I do not like the idea of shooting an innocent little animal who's just living their best life in the forest. But they kind of look like camo, and I feel like little kids especially will like the camo look. So I made these guys, and they turn out a good size with the plush. I mean, that's big. You can see it in my hand. He's a beefy boy. So I'm probably going to put like a $15 price on these, to be completely honest with you. So after I did the Leggy frogs, I wanted to take a little bit of a break from market prep and do something for my daughter, Celeste. So she loves Angelina Ballerina. I said this last week. She doesn't love Angelina Ballerina. She's 4 months old. She doesn't know her butt from a hole in the ground, but I project that she loves this book onto her, okay? So last week I showed you guys this Angelina Ballerina lovey that I made, and don't get me wrong, I love her. Her face, I could never replicate how cute this face is. But I don't love the shape of the body. And I had seen on Etsy that, I think it's Cable and Canvas, maybe it's not. I'll link it below. I am so bad with these names. Somebody on Etsy, a really popular pattern designer, has this mouse pattern for these cute little mices that are ballerinas, or you can do it where they have like mermaid tails. And I was like, I kind of want to remake her Angelina Ballerina and sell this one. So this one is going up on my Etsy. So if you want her, she's not going to be cheap because she took me about 6 hours because I wanted her to be perfect for my child. But I'll link my Etsy below. So she'll be up on there. But I wanted to do this pattern of this. It's not a lovey style. It's like an actual stuffed animal, but she's still little. So this is how she turned out. So of course I did her embroidered eyes because it's for a itty bitty baby. And as Bob Ross would say, it was a happy accident that last time I accidentally made her tutu a different color than her leotard. And you guys love that look, and I ended up really liking it too. So I did it on purpose this time with a little bit more of a contrast. So I did a darker pink for her leotard and for her little ballet slippers, and then a lighter pink for her tutu. And I did a faux pas, you guys. You hardcore crocheters are going to come after me, but I don't care. I'm going to do me. I'm going to tell you what you can do, even though a lot of crocheters will tell you that you can't, and that is you can mix yarns. In fact, you can even mix yarn weights. You guys, this is Big Twist Posh with Burnout Blanket, and it looks fine. This color, this darker pink, is Big Twist Posh. Her body and her tutu is Burnout Blanket. And her shoes also are Big Twist Posh. And it is so cute. So she's tiny, but it's perfect for a little baby. So this is for Celeste. And I hated doing the legs. I will never make another one of these. It took me about an hour. Oh, you thought I meant the whole thing took me an hour? No, just the legs took me an hour. The entire thing took me about 3. Why it took me so long? I couldn't tell you. It goes back to me either being stupid or sleep deprived or both. The legs are 5 in a round all the way for all of these rows, however many rounds there are. And I could not for the life of me make them the same width. One leg looked like it had gone to the gym, and the other leg looked like it had skipped leg day. So I had to remake these legs 3 times and frog it back. I don't even know how many times. And I was doing it really late at night because after I put the baby down to bed, in her bassinet next to our bed in our bedroom, I go and sit in the recliner in our bedroom so that I can like keep an eye on her. But that is my mommy time to like really like put my head down and work. And I do that by the light of just a little tiny lamp. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had very little light. I was getting really tired and I was getting so frustrated with these legs. And I'm not going to lie to you, between the Totoro and this week, I almost gave up on crocheting but I can't do that because this job is what pays our mortgage and pays to feed said child. So, well, not right now. Right now she drinks milk, but she will be eating a lot of berries, I've heard. So she turned out cute. I will never make another one. So this one is for my baby girl. So she can sit right back there. Oh, cute! So after that, I was like, I need something else that's easy. And I pulled out my own Loaf unicorn pattern, which is on my Etsy if you're interested in it. It's about a 45 minute make, and it's very low sew. The only thing that you have to sew on is the muzzle. And so I was planning on making a lot of these, but I had crochet DD last week, as you can tell by me making over 50 items. So I ended up only making one Loaf unicorn. And again, in an effort to get rid of some of my yarn stash, I had a little bit of this Bernat baby blanket and the sparkle left. So I did this, and I should have made the horn a different color, but I batch make these. So I have like 25 unicorn horns in the yellow already made up. I have a bunch of the hair already made up, and in the pattern I tell you to surface crochet it, but you can also just make it up separately and then literally just tie it in, just tie it to the body and then use your hook to pull the tails through, and it takes seconds to do that. So I have a bunch of the hair and the horns made up. So I should have done a different color horn, but it's okay. And then on the muzzle, I wanted to try doing nostrils. I've been trying not to show it to you yet before I addressed how stupid this looks. I wanted to try doing nostrils, and they did not turn out great. They're lopsided for one thing. They look like my chesticles after breastfeeding on one side. And also I put the sinker eye backs on the wrong way, so they don't sinker. They just sit on top. So, I don't know if I'm going to clearance this. I'm sure some little kid is going to come up and just love how quirky this is. So, I mean, it still took me the same amount of time. I don't think I'm going to clearance it. But I used this rainbow chenille. I have talked about this before. I love this yarn. It is some of my favorite. It feels just like the Juicy Couture Velour yarn. And it is from Amazon. And you get it in like a 24 pack of different colors, including variegateds. I'll link the Amazon listing for these, and I love this yarn. And I mean, how perfect is that for a unicorn? I mean, it's rainbow, right? Sparkly yarn with rainbow. I think if you look at this, you're going to be able to tell it's a unicorn, even though the horn is the same color as the body. And I could have changed colors for the baubles, but I couldn't be bothered at the time. I told you I had a rough start to the week. So I was like, I need to do easy things that I enjoy making. So Thursday came around and I got nothing done because Celeste had a doctor's appointment. She weighs 13 pounds now, by the way. She is a little butterball. And then on Thursday, I also had to work on Etsy orders because that is my main source of income. So had to work on Etsy orders. So while I'm packing orders, I figured that I would show you what my Etsy business is. So I make cereal bowl wall art. So they have like hooks on the back and you hang them on the wall in your kitchen like that. And the customers can choose like the color and the cereal that they want. This person wanted Count Chocula and to make it look like the milk was spilling out of the bowl, which looks really cool. I love the Fruity Pebbles with the pink. Very, very cute. And this is a popular combo, the Tricks with the berry pink. If you know me, you know that I love like fake food decor. You've probably seen the fake cakes on the wall in my office. I used to have cereal bowls, but I replaced them with the cakes and I sold the bowls that were hanging on my wall. But I am aware that there's this girl on TikTok, I don't even know her name, but she does the cereal bowl wall art and she like went viral for it. But I'm just here to say that I was the first one to do it. I had people like tagging me in. Oh, do you mind? Well, thank you very much. I was the first one to do the bull wall art. I've been doing it for like 3 years now. So just putting it out there. Of course, I have my other little helper. 13 orders packed. We had to take a couple breaks. It took a few hours. And I've got about 14 more bowls out in the dining room curing. So yeah, this is literally my full-time job. So I've shipped all those out on Friday, and then Friday I got a lot done. This is where the bulk of my 50 plus items came from. So the first thing that I did was this Gudetama. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. So this is a Gudetama. If you don't know what this is, it is a Sanrio character. So if you know Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty is owned and created by this company called Sanrio, and they've got hundreds of characters, and this is one of their characters. You could consider him a friend to Hello Kitty, but he's a little egg guy, and I would try to make him look like he was like scared, kind of. Like, I don't know, like his egg splatted or something, I don't know. And I gave him a butt because I feel like eggs and butts are good sellers. Are all my customers perverts? Maybe. But I feel like the butts sell. So I gave him a booty. And this is Big Twist, a baby bear. And this is, yeah, they're both baby bear. They're both baby bear. No, I lied. The white is baby bear. The yellow is Sunshine in Parfait Chunky. So they worked up nice together. He only took me like an hour. I might actually do some more of him because I feel like this would sell well at Comic-Con. So speaking of Comic-Con things, a very, very popular fandom, you've probably heard of it, Harry Potter. I am a Hufflepuff, by the way, if you're wondering. So I was like, what can I make that's kind of Harry Potter-ish? And the only thing that I could think that would be a quick make, because I do have a lot of big stuff, which, as I said at the beginning of the video, I want the big intricate items for Comic-Con. That is, I think, what people are going to be more drawn to. And I think that I'm going to have a higher chance of selling big items at a convention like that versus just a random standard like high school market. But I do want some little quick make things. So the unicorns are going to be good for the Ren Fair, but I'm not going to do a ton of those right now for Comic-Con. So I was thinking about what I could do from Harry Potter, and I found a couple of patterns on Etsy, which I will be doing in future videos, so stay tuned for that if you're a Harry Potter fan, that are quicker makes. But I had the idea of doing a Mandrake, which, if you don't know what that is, it is like a little plant guy, and when you pull them out of their pots, they cry like babies, and their cry is so piercing that it can kill you. Except for the baby mandrakes, they will just make you pass out from like the supersonic boom of their cry, which as a new mother, I can relate to. So I could not really find a pattern. There are a lot of Mandrake patterns on Etsy. And by the way, a Mandrake is not copyrighted. This is just like a mythical creature thing. They just are seen in Harry Potter. So a lot of people just relate them to Harry Potter. Just like, oh, it's like the same thing as a wizard. When you think of a wizard, you probably think of Harry Potter, but it is not a trademark or licensed thing. So a lot of the patterns that I had seen on Etsy looked like they were going to take too much time, because I want a quick make. Like, I want like a 15-minute make for batch making these, 50 of these items. And so I decided to devise my own Mandrake pattern, and I'm not going to lie to you, I think it's going to be a one and done. because he took about an hour with like all the leaves and everything. And I don't think I'm going to make more. So this is what my Mandrake turned out like. I just did bobble stitches for his arms and legs. And again, he's supposed to look sad, kind of like he's crying. I used Parfait Chunky for the body in Teddy Bear because I had a little bit of a skein left of that. So to get rid of it, I used that. And then for the leaves, I used Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee in the Velvety Smooth Sparkle in Olive. And I liked the sparkle because he's supposed to be like mythical, magical creature. So with all of the leaves, and I mean, that's not a small amount of stitches, and I could have made him smaller. Again, it was just something that I was kind of going with the flow with. And I was writing a pattern for this, by the way, that I was going to release on Etsy. And I don't know, maybe I will. I don't know if I will still. But with how long it took, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more. He was not hard. Really not hard at all. You do have to sew all of these on, and by sew I mean you literally just, you've got 2 strings, you put it through a stitch and then you tie it and then you pull the ends through. It didn't take much time in that respect, but I think for how big it is, you know, if we had access to a chenille home slim still, I think that I would have been a lot more okay with doing more of these because I could have used the terracotta color for the body of these guys, and he would have turned out a much bigger size. And so I feel like if something takes me an hour or more to do, this probably took me close to an hour and 15 minutes, then I'm charging minimum $20 for it. Because this is my main source of income. It's not like I'm retired and just doing markets just to recoup my cost of yarn. Like, this is my full-time job that feeds my family and keeps a roof over our head. I'm just in that season of life right now where I have to make a living doing this. Otherwise, I need to go get a job at the McDonald's because I have to earn a living. So you might say like $20 for that, that's crazy, but I haven't had a problem making sales, I don't think, because of my prices, so I'm going to keep them as they are. But anyways, I would feel less guilty about charging $20 for this thing if it was a little bit bigger. But I think what I'm going to do, because he turned out kind of small, but I still want to get that $20 price range on him, I might do 18, is I am going to go and pick up a little pot from Walmart, like a 2-inch or 4-inch potting pot. I'll have to take him with me and see what he fits in, and get like a little clay pot to put him in so that he is not only a desk plant, because in the pot you're just going to see, you know, the leaves. He's not only a desk plant, but you can take him out, like just like in the movie, you take him out by their little leaves and they cry. He'll be a Mandrake as well. So I think that might be able to get me a little bit of a higher price point for him. So I did the Mandrake. And then I made a couple stress pets. So I have this, what is the color called? Big Twist Plush. It's the pink variegated. I want to say it's like strawberry shortcake or something like that. But I had that yarn, and so I just used up an entire skein of that making stress pets. So I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stress pets out of that one skein. And I love the way this color works up. These little stress pets are amazing sellers for me. I have a free tutorial on my channel if you're interested in these. They just are so squishy and fun to squeeze, and I sell them for $8, and it's a good size item for $8, so parents usually don't have a problem buying their kids something of this size that they can hold. And I do like to make them in different like girths and lengths so that hands of all sizes can grasp them. Don't take that out of context, please. That could sound really dirty if you have a dirty mind like me. So I got quite a few of these guys out of that one skein, and I love using variegated yarns on these because I just think that it's a simple enough pattern and they're so small that the variegated isn't super like overwhelming, and it gives them like a cool stripe look. So every time I make a stress pet, it's always in a variegated yarn in the Big Twist Plush because it really gives it like that nice squishy feel. Although you can use burnout blanket too. It gives the squishy feel. Mystical is good, although Mystical will turn out a lot smaller than these. So just be aware of that. And then, oh, I forgot to say, before I did that turtle with the pastel variegated plush, I made a stress pet in that yarn. Look at how pretty it is. It is so, so pretty. So I've done these in like the neon rainbow, the blues, the greens, now the pinks. I normally don't show you guys all of my little stuff that I make because I didn't think you cared, but do you care about all this little stuff? Do you want me to show it to you every week or just show you the big stuff? Because I've only really been showing you guys the big stuff and not all the little stuff that I make every week, because I made a goal for myself at the beginning of the year that starting on January 1st all the way until the day before Comic-Con, I was going to make $100 worth of inventory every day. I have not done that every day, but I would say that I've actually done pretty good on like if I get like the $30 range one day, then the next day I will compensate and I'll do like $150, $160 in inventory that day. So I normally don't show you guys this little stuff, but let me know if you like to see it. I don't know. I'm really excited about our question of the day today because I am dying to know if you could live in any time period or year, where would you live? Which time period and which location? I am so excited to see what you guys say about this. So please leave me a comment. I think for me personally, I would like to live in like Edwardian England because I'm obsessed with Bridgerton now. I'm in my Bridgerton era and I think that that would be fun. But my caveat would be that I would have to be rich if I were to live in that time period because I don't know if I could do with the no hygiene thing. But setting that aside, the outfits and the architecture and the interior design, love it. Let me know what time period you would live in the comments down below. All right, so then the rest of the things that I did, this is so cute, y'all. So, so cute. I have a box of kittens. Look at them in there. This isn't all of them. I made 20 loaf cats this week. Not only do I have these, but I also have, hang on, let me put these guys down so that you'll believe me that I made 20. There they all are. You still can't really see them, but I promise you that there are 20. And I made them in different colors. So I used up an entire skein of burnout blanket tweeds for these guys. And I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 loaf cats out of this skein. And by the way, this is my own pattern. I don't have it written. Oh, I have it written down. I don't know where I found it. I think it was like a compilation of different parts of different loaf cat patterns that I had seen that I liked the different bits of. So I made those. I used up an entire skein of Burnout Mystical. These are so soft. Oh my gosh, they're so, so soft. This is like the perfect cat color. Used up an entire skein, and then the orange I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's interesting. I got less cats in the orange than I did in the tweeds. I made 1 in that pink variegated plush. Why I didn't make more, I don't know. I just wanted to do 1. The last time I made a non-traditional cat color loaf cat for a market, it did sell, but it was the very last cat to sell. And I did the Sweet Snuggles bloom in the pink bloom with like the yellow flowers, which I thought was adorable, but it did not sell until the very last thing. So I didn't want to go crazy with like the weird color cats, although that is so cute. And the way that the variegated colors pooled makes it look like patchy, you know, almost like a calico. His ears need to be pointed up a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. I gave him a black nose, or her a black nose, because I didn't want it to be too pink. All the other ones got pink noses. I did one with white, and then on the white, she got a little pink bow on her tail. And this is the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle. I only did one white Loaf cat because, for whatever reason, people don't like the all white Loaf cats as much as the other variegated, or like just the other colors. I don't know why. Maybe because people in my area are not like snooty enough to have white puffball cats, even though if I were to have a cat, I would have a white puffball cat because I think that they're adorable, and she'd be sassy and she'd be a little princess. But I only made one of her. Plus, I need to save this Bernat yarn for my Loaf unicorns because this is the perfect yarn for the unicorns. They turn out a really good size and they're sparkly, and unicorns are supposed to be sparkly. Then I used some chenille home slim and made some black kitty cats, and on them, because they're black and regular safety eyes won't show up, I gave them glitter disc green eyes with white whiskers. So I made 3 black cats. Oh, 3 black cats. So that was a total of 20 kitties that I made, and I display them in a box like this. You know, like little kittens found on the side of the road, which is so sad. Don't dump your cats or dogs on the side of the road, but I thought that the box was cute, so that's how I display them. Shout out to Amazon, not sponsored. I just hear all the YouTubers say that, so I wanted an opportunity to say that and fit in. Well, anyways, that was 53 items that I made this week, and I have something on my hook as well that is a humongous project. That is a personal project. It is not to be sold. So I will show you guys that next week if it's done. It is going to be my largest plushie ever. Even after Mushy Guy and Tia and Ditto, it's going to be all of those 3 put together in size. So stay tuned for next week's weekly makes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during this very, very long video. Maybe 53 plushies does not sound like a lot to you. Maybe it sounds like a ton to you, but keep in mind, I am a mother of an infant. And you're probably wondering why, like, how do I have the time to do this? As I have mentioned, this is my full-time job. So Ryan works nights, so during the days we kind of treat it like mom has to go to work, and I have some time to sit down and crochet during the day, and then once he leaves for work, then I'm on mom duty. So we kind of work opposite schedules like that, which is great. So I am able to accomplish a lot. Plus she's at the age right now where she does sleep a lot. Like I put her down to bed, and then I've got 4 hours to work in just silence to myself. I'll turn on my YouTube and I'll just groove. So that's nice. I also have that time at night as well. But she's going to be getting to the age here pretty soon where she's not sleeping as much and she's really going to be grabbing for things. So I'm not going to be able to crochet with her like on me. So I'm trying to get as much done as I can right now. So thank you again for hanging out with me for this very, very long video. Again, if you want to subscribe, I invite you to. I think that's all I had to say. What are your guys' plans for Valentine's Day? Let me know what you're doing. It is actually mine and Ryan's wedding anniversary. We eloped on Valentine's Day because we were supposed to get married during 2020, and we all know how that went. So we had to postpone our wedding by a year, and we didn't want to wait. We were high school sweethearts, so we had already been together for like 9 years, and we're like, screw it, we're just gonna elope. So we went to Reno because we lived in California at the time and got married on Valentine's Day, and then had like our big wedding the following December after COVID was all done. So it is my wedding anniversary technically, even though we celebrate our December anniversary as like our actual anniversary. But we joke, we have a marriage anniversary and a wedding anniversary. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably nothing, because he works nights, so I'll probably just be alone with the baby. So Celeste and I can groove. She's my galentine, and I love that for us. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Have a great day. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.